I'm Meg, and I am a mother, a business leader, and a rebel rouser.
I am Angela, and I am an adventurer. I love being outdoors and connected with the earth.
I'm Barb. I'm a mother, a daughter, a sister, a nurse, and a big football fan.
I am Audrey, and I am a mom, a yaya, and a yogi.
I'm Belinda Romney, and I am a Zumba instructor, a mother, a wife, a daughter. I am an employee, and I am rare.
I am Charlene. I am a mother, a daughter, an outdoor enthusiast, and an avid birder. I actually developed my birding skills, a lot of my observation skills, because I couldn't walk very fast. And what I found was that there was so much more going on than just being short of breath. I was diagnosed with LAM in 1993. There was very little, if any, information that you could find about it. Really, there was one article which had a very grim prognosis.
There was very little known about this disease, and women were told that they were likely going to progress and that the median survival was on the order of about 8.5 years.
It was very isolating to be diagnosed with LAM early on because I knew no one else. Had no idea where to turn to find answers, and that's a very hopeless feeling.
My daughter Andrea was diagnosed with LAM in 1994. Of course, that 24-letter word, lymphangioliomyomatosis, was scary enough. But what was even scarier is I did some research to see what was being done on LAM and couldn't find anything being done by anybody anywhere. I decided to start the LAM Foundation in 1995. I asked Frank Montgomery to lead the science, and that's when the search for a cure began.
The inception of the LAM Foundation in 1995 as the first patient advocacy organization for women with LAM was a true turning point.
LAM had been known to exist for decades, but that's all that was known about LAM, was that it exists, it's a rare disease, it can be seen in women. All of this changed after Sue and Frank Burns founded the LAM Foundation.
The goal was clear from the beginning, which was that in order to make progress, the patients had to be organized, samples had to be collected. We had to raise money for pilot funding so that research could get started.
Patient connection in the early years was absolutely vital because there were so few of us. We had to stay in touch, we had to keep spreading awareness and believing, hoping that we were on our way to a cure.
The LAM Foundation has succeeded as a patient advocacy organization by finding and connecting patients so that they can share with each other what it's like to live with this disease.
Discovering the LAM Foundation was a savior for me. I couldn't believe a rare disease like this had such support.
And they gave us hope. There was a future.
We're there for each other to support and to be inspirations for each other.
In addition to connecting patients with each other, the LAM Foundation creates opportunities for LAM patients to interact with scientists and doctors who are studying their disease. When these two groups come together, they provide inspiration, motivation, and information that energizes the scientists and the whole scientific process.
The LAM Foundation is a model for allowing the patient voice to be part of the process of research and clinical care.
Patients are really at the center of everything that they do. I listen to them and see what's important to them. Their questions change year to year, and that really drives the research and the questions that we ask in the lab.
From the beginning, it was a union between patients and researchers. Seeing patients at the LAM symposiums, it brings so much meaning to work what we do. It's just like family.
When you have a rare disease like LAM, patient engagement is fundamentally critical. You really need to have an organization, a network, where you can bring people together and you can decide as a group, what are the clinical trials that we want to push forward? What are the issues that we need to tackle now? And without the LAM Foundation, then this would not be possible.
A perfect example of how organized patient communities can lead to breakthroughs in science really comes from the example of the MILES trial.
There was this amazing confluence of events where the science had just reached the point where we understood the pathway. And Sue and the foundation had organized the patients in a way that made trials rapidly possible. We were able to conduct a pilot trial and then a pivotal trial in rapid sequence and identify the promise of this drug, sirolimus.
only about 5% or less of the rare diseases have an effective treatment, and LAM is one of those rare diseases. Without that patient commitment, without that patient organization, the MILES trial would not have been successful.